Wassail Beautiful People. So, this this is Mara's door, and you can see why I have a bit of a problem with the door. I am tall, but the door is small. This is making me look like a Jotun. I look like an absolute giant. Um, so this is the door. This is the frame that I've banged my head on twice and cut the top of my head open, and it was so that Mara could get my attention. And as I said, I was cooking some potatoes and the gas cylinder ran out, so I had to take them out into the communal kitchen. And as I came through this door carrying my pot of potatoes with the boiling water, the handle snapped and it spilt all over the floor, all the potatoes, all this hot liquid. And immediately the image became Maria, lying dead. Maybe a heart attack, but she just fell and she stayed there. And there was a sense that she's still here. Look, there's all kinds of different spiritual entities, I guess, is the best way to describe it. She's physically here. She's never walked through into the light to be to go to the place to be cleansed and to be reborn. And there are people waiting for her. There are other people. There are other energies waiting for her. But she's frightened. That's the overriding sense. But I've left her for the 3 weeks that I've been here to just chill into the notion of this possibility. And since yesterday, she's kind of been really following me around and trying to make me aware that she's ready. But I'm going to do this video. We're going to do a reading to see what she might like to say to us. And then I will try the healing, and it depends whether she wants the healing to be public. I don't know until we get there, and because it's a conversation we're going to have with her and see what happens. Now, another form of ghost are ghosts who are energies that we've created by never letting go of the dead. And that's another really important thing that we have to learn to do. We have to learn to let the dead live. My brother came to me in that reading on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020, to say exactly that. My parents were never able to let my brother's spirit go because they loved him as their child so much. And so they kept his memory so rigidly alive. And he came to me and he said, and this was before both my parents died, that he wanted me to release him, to stop thinking of him as only my brother, but to think of him as a member of a soul tribe who will reincarnate with me again in some other form of relationship. And that by holding him in the memory of being only my brother, I'm not allowing him to be the fullness of power that he can be to assist me in the now as I live. And now that both my parents have died, he is able to move forwards. He is able to be free and to be that energy because it was their frequency holding him. I'm being reminded of Normandy and the energy I got there of the need for the dead to be released. And yet every year when we have a memorial service, we're holding their energies, trapping their frequencies, and that energy of the war is very strong in the land in that part of France. And we need to let go, and we also need to stop making people that were part of those campaigns from attending them every year and having to relive those energies, because reliving those energies fixes them even harder into the ground. And there's something they're saying about how now we're in air epoch. The earth epoch was holding those energies trapped until the lessons were ready to be learned. And it's almost like there's a lot more ghosts rising up who are seeking their pathway out. Some of them are just energetic echoes. The person moved through the door, but they're bound by the energy of the earth from the old epoch. So they're like a ghost recording that just keeps turning up. A little bit like the person that I saw yesterday who died in the car accident. They've gone, but there's an energy of them. That part of the land needs a cleansing at the side of the road. It's not my journey to do that. It's something that will take place in its own time, because I sense that the person is still being held here by their own family who are living. So it's a very complicated subject. Mara died maybe a couple of 100 years ago. She's been stuck. She kind of keeps telling me that she got stuck at the beginning of Earth Epoch almost, and she fell here. She came through the door, and I kind of get the feeling that she fell into like a vegetable patch just outside her house, a place where she grew foods to eat, and she's never been able to get back up and leave. But she's here. She actually lies underneath. There's a bed in this room at the front of the house, because this has got an extension built on it. And there's a bed where I do a lot of my work. It's like a big double bed that I can lie on and work from. But the two tables at the end, she's lying under one of them, and one of the tables is where I've been doing a lot of my card readings and my work on that area, and she's quite happy with being part of that energy because I'm observing her. So I'm gonna switch camera down to where she's lying and see what messages she might like to give us. So here we are. There's a table, and she died just beneath this table. So we're going to read the cards with her and see if she has any messages. It's so hot here today. There's not a breeze or anything. There's just an oven-like heat entering from every angle. So Mara, we're here. And we would really like to be able to help you. So what messages do you have? What would you like to talk to us about? Because I feel like you were there yesterday. Taming the wind. Oh, you see, that's really interesting. She's immediately bringing me a breeze. There's an energy of calm, comfort. She wants the winds around her to be tamed, but the winds, I mean, I'm channeling a lot of this. I'm not so sure how well the cards will help, but it's good to use the cards because they help the messages to be clear. It's not that I don't trust my channeling, but there's something about shame. She wants the shame to be tamed. She's smiling, bless her, she's smiling at the notion of rhyme, weirdly. Well, not weirdly. She likes the chiming of the taming of the shame. Mara, what else would you like to say? She's really got a wonderful sense of humour. She's saying, I know you can do time. She said, I know that you can open this portal. She's watched what I've been doing. Because at first she wanted my attention. And she got my attention, and I said to her, look, I'm aware that you're there. I'm dripping with sweat. And she just wants to say that she's comfortable with me being here, because she hasn't bothered me since the day that she got my attention. So she wants me there's something about another rhyme. Give me the other rhyme. It's time to tame the shame. It's time to tame the shame. We can tame the shame. There is no shame, Mara. Everything you did in your life, you did because you were meant to do it. But we don't know what it is that you did that you feel ashamed of. Are you willing to share your story? Would you like to give us something more about your story? She's kind of saying it's very difficult because she's not sure that the cards are there with the symbols, because she doesn't know enough about how Look, it's different. So, Mara, I understand you don't know the cards that will connect to the right images in my head. But if you look around you, my guides are there. Ask my guides, tell my guides what it is you want to say, and they will pull the cards to help your story flow. Come along now, please. Someone bring me a card. Okay, the coyote. So she's asking me to observe not the animal, but the number. 12. 12 is that rigid structure that we've been living in for millennia. This need for walls, this need to block, this need to shame, this need to control. And it is about control. She's saying she felt controlled in every aspect of her life, from being a child to being an adult. Her own desires were controlled. And at the moment that she wanted to act on her own desires, that was the moment when her existence was tarnished. She became like a wild woman. She was seen as some kind of difficult woman. I mean, how often have we heard that phrase? Because she couldn't be controlled or manipulated. It's not the card of lightning, as in removing the sword from the soul. That's part of it. This is really saying that we've struck the energy of her story. Her story is how she desired to live freely in a world that didn't allow that. So do you want to tell us what this thing is? Emotions, creator frequency, a sense of pride in her own energy. She understood more than she was allowed to, but this caused heartbreak. There's something of the mother of many energy that's coming from this card. Maybe mother of many's there now to help guide her, but there's something, it's like it's coming in as mother of many. It's coming in as mother of many, spirit, coming in as creator frequency, as healing frequency, as an emotional purification. Reaching out to Mara to soothe her, to show that there is no shame in anything she did. That's really beautiful. So I'm just going to press on with cards and just see if we get her story. It would be nice to understand her story. That was immediate. And what was the bottom? Oh. So the card that wanted to come out is the card of the Lovers. And she's saying it was about love. It was about a man, but this man was not, he was raw. But he gave her a child, twins, and she wasn't married. And it's to do with being pregnant back in the day and the shame that's attached to it. That's really fascinating. and he it's like he desired her. You have to excuse me. We're in a Cancer moon, and phlegm is being excited. Tomorrow, once we get past that new moon and we move into Leo, it'll be sanguine, blood. But I'm really being affected, which is so strange because, you know, I don't eat dairy, but the mucus is definitely shifting in me with this moon. This guy, it's like there's an angry monkey. Oh, you see, I've been getting that phrase that Rob said a while back, which I'd never heard before, and another friend mentioned it the other day. Not my circus, not my monkey. That's his attitude. He was like, it's not my circus, it's not my monkey. And he almost, there's something, he just left as soon as she was pregnant. It's like he just really, he gave, you know, passionate sexual overtures and then left. I'm not taking the one that's turned and hidden. Prince of Cups and the Three of Swords. He was just a cold guy who promised emotions just to get his rocks off. He plunged, it's like he plunged the swords into her heart. Oh, it's so... Right, spirit flies are turning up. It restricted her ability, because we've got Saturn in Libra, to move into... to ever move into this frequency of trusting and being able to be loved ever. It's a heart pain that has never gone away. I don't know why I keep being drawn to this small... He threw her heart away. She was inconsequential. That's so sad. But we will work through this. Because it's being spoken. It's like she's wanting her story to be spoken so that it can be shared and healed and released. So, is there anything else about him that you need to explain? Right, and they are saying you have to take this and you have to, because it's Saturn in Sagittarius. It's about Saturn frequency, the restriction of the old age of Saturn. It's oppression, and it's a hidden oppression. It's an oppression that goes on under the surface, and yet it still ran through society, even recently. My own father was not the child of my grandmother's husband. And everyone knew, and yet it was suppressed, and it was a tool to bully my father over, and yet everyone knew the truth of it. And it's an energy that society has held tightly onto. This, it's just another of the tools to oppress people by, so that they can't live in their own emotional stability. So what else would you like to add, please, Mara, or Mother of Many? There's two there, which we'll come to, but there's two face down. So, the Five of Swords, she just felt defeated. It's like, this is also something to do with how she died. There's something to do with it. I'm seeing her falling maybe she had a kind of a heart attack or something, but there's something to do with glass. Maybe she was carrying something glass, a bottle, I don't know. But she fell onto that and it pierced through her. And there's a sense of heartache. I mean, I don't mean just the pining for the lover that was so cruel and so icy cold, but there's a heartache in her death. The heart ached. They're drawing me towards this fish. They're saying that one of her children died at birth. She had twins, one died at birth and one grew up. That's interesting because I was going to ask about the children. So she didn't even have the true love of, or the ability to love her children. We will ask about the children. The other card we have with it is Mars in Capricorn, and that's giving me this frequency of her being kind of tarred with the energy of being like a devil woman, but of being not welcome in society, not part of the community at large, being ostracized. I get the feeling that she's living with a brother, and her brother was some kind of baker. And then we have two more cards. We have the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So she's saying that even though there was a truth, even though people knew the frequency of the guy who promised everything and delivered nothing but coldness and left, he definitely left this area, there was a futility to telling the truth. Everyone knew the truth. Everyone knew, that's interesting, everyone knew that she wasn't to blame, and yet it was futile to get people to come out of this fixed Aquarian energy. She was allowed no exit, and so she feels that she's not been allowed an exit ever since. They're showing me Mars frequency a lot, like a community fury, because because it's really easy for a community fury to mask the sins of themselves. That's really interesting. So I'm going to pop those cards away, and I'm going to ask about her child. What happened to the child that lived? I'm sensing that she had a boy and a girl, non-identical twins, and the boy died and the girl lived. But that is just intuition. She's making me look at the Shaman de la Veille cards. I'm not sure why, but there seems to be some kind of message in these. It's a message of the world snapping up around things. We're being given the card of magic. And we're being given the card of resilience. So is this about the child, or is this is something else, isn't it? What is this? The dream. Okay. As she grew older, she became like a dream interpreter. She had this ability to interpret dreams. She was very resilient. 344. Sorry, just give me a second. 8. There's a 12. There was a structure of her. This has got a 12 frequency about it in total. There was an ability within her to see through the dreams of others, but it's interesting. I'm not seeing people coming to her to ask her dreams, ask her to interpret dreams. She could just see through the dreams of others. She knew things about people's egos. She knew the truth of other people's lies because she'd witnessed this energy so vast in her own life caused by another. It's about, she's saying, we have to all stop trying to control how other people live. Do you want to expand on that? Do you want to expand on that? Right. She's talking to me about creating charms somehow. I get the feeling... that she... there's something to do with whittling, but I'm not seeing her whittling. It's something to do with him whittling. So he was... I need more cards. It's going... they were saying he was a carpenter, but she's saying, but not in this village. So why was he here? So we have Moon in Cancer. That's this moon at the moment. I think she's trying to tell me that she died on a full moon in Cancer. And I'm seeing 18, 47 or something around that time. Oh, look. Death upside down. She's never been able to pass through death. There's another card in here. It's the Ten of Pentacles, but she's saying she was never able to experience the wealth of life. It's really sad. And Six of Swords, she was never able to move forwards. And the Princess of Discs. It's like she's never been able to look into the world of spirit and move forwards. I've never seen that as the energy of this card before. They're showing me it as someone in spirit, and there's an energy of unplugging. This card always has an energy of plugging into the ground, but there's something about pulling out from the frequency of the earth and being prepared to let go. So I'm going to ask again. Do you wish to share something about your child that lived, Mara? Mother of Many, does Mara want to say something about her child? I don't think she does. The cards are being... The energy of the cards is drawing themselves tight. We'll give it one more go. Is there a message about her child? Is there a message about her child? No. So they're saying that the child lived. The child's offspring still lives. That's interesting. And she doesn't want... She's fearful that there would be a sense of shame still attached. But if she can heal now, she will unlock that shame, is what Mother of Many is trying to get her to understand. So, Mother of Many, Mara, what do we need to do next? They're saying turn the deck up the other way. There was something about that, about turning the world back up the right way. Also, about not taking her at this energy. Turn this up the other way. Turn the Six of Swords up the other way. Everything in her frequency now is being readied for the door. And I will attempt to record the door as we open it. Oh, see, and I've done it again. I've turned the cards around the other way. Turn around the thought process. The lower world, upside down. It's time to leave the lower world. It's time to stop being caught. So, what are we going to do? What do we need to do? Oh, it's too beautiful. The middle world upside down. Trapped. The lower world energies that she was shamed to living with has had her trapped here for all this time. And now we have 3 cards. Oh, I'll just show you them. So they're talking about Mother of Many is represented by the Ancient Ones. She's saying that I have the ability to do the mystical shaman work and open the space, and Mara will blow through. Now that there's something very important about the air frequency allowing this moment finally. It's so beautiful. I think there's an energy of the elven, because we know that there's that Time Master frequency that I've been working with since I went to the elves. Do the Odin cards have something else to say about this journey to release Mara? Do they have anything else to say about this journey to release Mara? That had a lot of noise to it. There's a lot of noise that's been around early this morning. Jera. Jera is about a sense of time, a sense of harvest. Jera. It depends how people say it. But there's something about the roots of... It's like... that's interesting. It's like she's... I think when we do this later... I think her children are coming to open the gateway for her. That's who's waiting for her. Her twins. And one of them's been waiting because he died young. Oh, the elves are here. The light will be coming. This is the light of heaven. This is the light of Elfamir. And what's the final card? It's the season. It's the time, it's the place, it's the cycle, it's the year. It's the moment. So we'll do a little ceremony later, and if she allows, I will add that ceremony to the end of this. But if not, then I'll add a little description of what I did. But hopefully they will agree to let us do it. I usually work with clearing the energy of where she's lying, and I use sound, obviously, as a sound healer. Then I cleanse the doorway, because this door here will become her light portal, and then we can shift, open the door, and with luck her twins will appear through the elven light, and she can go back to the ancient ones. She's willing. Anyway, that's Mara's story. She's just saying stop looking sad. She said thank you, and she's happy because she's able to get up. She's excited to move through. It's 63. It's the reversal of the physical world and the internal world. It's like the energies are going backwards. The magic will be created. The elven ring will open the door and will bring that frequency. So it's nice. Anyway. Okay, so there's no set way to do this. This is just the way in which I've gone into the space. This is going to be her door, the door that she died as she came out of. This is going to become her entrance to spirit. I've closed the door, I've been inside, I've closed all the other doors to make the space very dark, very personal, very much a cosmic womb. I've lit 2 candles in there for her 2 children who will be awaiting her. I've sung G inside that space. G is the energy wings. G is the frequency of spirit in my methodology, my understanding in sound healing. I was taught that a long time ago when I had the misfortune to see a man burning alive on a balcony outside my house, and the following day when I went there I was asked by spirit to resonate that note to help his soul move on, and so I've always used G as the note to open the spirit world, and our connection to the spirit world. I've cleansed with this wonderful sage stick that was made for me by Olga, the artist who's doing the runes. I'm also going to take a bit of Palo Santo, and we're going to draw around the door to create a space. But we're also, first of all, we're going to work down here just to clear the energy of the space in which Mara died and is still caught in. And for that we're going to use F sharp of the higher heart, that energy of love. There's something about the journey between F sharp of the heart to G of the energy wings, that movement of the heart up a gear back to spirit. And then there's also something about the closure from C, the root of the physical world, to B of the crown, that energy of lifting up. So we will create a melody around those notes as we do this. I'm also going to, just before I start, and I'm explaining something else because there'll be questions, and I'm hoping to cover them all in this video, because I don't want to be writing lots and lots of comments, because this is a very deeply personal thing for the spirit of Mara, and in many ways we just need to smile and witness the magic of her returning finally. But so there are things that are energy mantles, and energy mantles are frequencies gifted to us by spirits, by gods, by beings, and we have to earn that frequency. We have to be able to tune our body to that frequency. And I've, for a long time, had just one energy mantle that I could call upon, which was Odin of the White Raven. And that's Odin when he's in healer frequency. And I'm quite happy if that's the only mantle I ever get to wear. I mean, I did sense that there's a new one coming with the Time Master, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I can't make that happen. I just need to keep living my life in my truth, and then I will know when that energy mantle appears. And it's a frequency I can tune myself into that has the energy of something mystical and through the veil that we don't really understand, but I've learned to trust. So I'm going to be using F sharp of the heart to just center me and focus my frequencies. So on the other side of this door, before closing it, I created all around the frame, which you're going to see me do now, but I've already done it to the note G. I've created it to be the space to open spirit world. And now this side, I need to open the space of pure love to act as the, love is the interface, again, keeps coming through. So I'm going to open that as the interface between this frame. This door will become the interface from the love of spirit to the realm of spirit. So I'm going to work this area here, cleanse this area here where Mara fell. I just need to say, when I was in that room, I felt the arrival of her twins in my feet. They moved into my feet to say that the energy of the space is opening to accept her. I just have to keep interrupting this to explain so that you understand. They're reminding me of the things you will ask questions about, so that we can avoid them, so that we can just let this, when it eventually happens, just be something deeply beautiful. I'm also drawing the symbol of infinity, which wraps everything in both the physical and the esoteric. And eventually I'm going to turn that into a circle and a spiral and use that to bring her frequency up. And then it's like drawing her energy, and I'm using my past hand. I'm going to pull her up through the Palo Santo, through my voice, and then I'm going to draw her energy around the door, and then eventually we'll change the tune, we'll put the tune in, and we'll open the door, and I will step out of shot, and we will just leave as I sing. We will just let what happens through the space. I've closed the door. I went inside just to check how everything was, and there was a really strong smell of sulphur, and a sense of calm, but a sense that the space just needs to breathe itself free of it being a spirit realm. And I will go in and cleanse that space again, so that, well, she's not here now, so with luck she's gone and she's happy. So that's how I work with helping people pass through the veil and into the light of Elfamir or spirit. And I'm really, I just want to say thank you, Mara, for allowing us to share that moment, because I really wasn't sure that she would. So thank you, Mara, and thank you all for watching something that is very personal and very sacred to the spirit. And I am so grateful that she's allowed us to witness that. So, Wassail.